Very few people know that good coffee is grown in Northeast India. With a mission to uphold the dignity of work and recognize the importance of every meaningful endeavor, 7,000 Steps is reviving the identity of Meghalaya coffee one bean at a time. Founded in 2021, this venture aspires to provide both the taste and experience of Northeast India to the world. They've traversed Northeast India's vast terrain to bring you coffee with an honest and memorable story behind it. 7,000 Steps is headquartered in Shillong, Meghalaya, priding themselves as the first farmer-to-cafe coffee company in the region. In this episode, we celebrate the uniqueness of Northeast India, and I'm thrilled to introduce you to the head of 7,000 Steps. Please say hello to Krau Purkhat David Minsong. Krau, first of all, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Baron.
It's your time to spill some beans. I've done a little bit of research, whether it's on the website or Instagram. Everybody is curious to know, what's the story behind 7,000 Steps?
The story behind the brand name 7,000 Steps comes from an epic trip. Several years ago, Ralph Bodelman, our CEO, and some of the team members, we always used to go for an epic trip to these remote villages to meet the farmers, to discover new crops and ingredients. So it was on one of these epic trips that one of the farmers expressed his frustration about coffee grown in the village, but there was no buyer and all, and they were cutting down the coffee plants. Right. And then these villages are very isolated. They're in the Kenyan region. They're like the only way accessible to these villages is by foot. Like, right. You'll have to trek 7,000 steps going down, 7,000 steps going back. And then for me, I'm familiar with these villages because my family also is one. They are also from. I'm also from those areas only, from those remote region only. Right. So I'm familiar with it. Mm. And then while trekking, we also see coffee plants here and there. And then the nearby villages also, they were growing coffee. And then we were surprised that coffee was there in Meghalaya because we all heard about coffee from the South Indian. And then that's where we were curious about finding coffee in Meghalaya. So we went and then we discover more and more coffee from Meghalaya, and then that's where we also discover the brand name. Like on this way to these villages that we have to trek, there are these ancient paths made of stones. So while going down there, we started counting the number of steps going down and number of steps coming back.
And were they literally 7,000 steps?
Yeah, they were literally 7,000 steps going down, 7,000 steps coming back. As I've shared, since I'm also from that region, it was really nice being from that part, remote, being far from the city, where we cram and then where we used to swim the pristine rivers and then trek back to the vehicle exhausted, and we were really tired. But apart from that epic trip, meeting the farmers, seeing the frustration, right, make us much more curious to find out about coffee. So that's where we came up with the brand name 7,000 Steps, because of the steps. But that's not the only story. The other thing, or the other reason, is because we want to acknowledge the farmers' effort.
Interesting. Yeah.
The customers, in taking a sip of coffee, it's easy for us to take a sip of coffee, but it took farmers 7,000 steps to deliver that coffee to them. 7,000 steps going down, 7,000 steps coming back. So that's how the brand name, that's how we brand our coffee company as 7,000 Steps.
Very interesting. Let's talk a little bit about some of the hurdles or challenges that you encountered, especially at the initial stages. Every business, I would imagine, is not a cakewalk. What are some of the hurdles that you personally, yourself and the team probably faced during the initial stages?
Okay. So hakabasdang hamala kanunu ka kam kadon bi kajinge kam don kanunu ka basok. No journey is easy, as we should say. When we first started this business, I just want to share a little bit. 7,000 Steps is a unit of Chili Breeze. Our parent company, Chili Breeze has been there now for 17 years. Right. So this company recruited fresh people from college who doesn't have any business background. Example for me, I don't have any background about coffee. I come from commerce background. So the first challenge is that none of us had coffee knowledge. We did not know about coffee. How will we know about coffee when we did not know coffee is with this coffee in Meghalaya? So the first thing first is the coffee knowledge. We did not have the coffee knowledge, but as we always used to say, problem is an opportunity.
Right.
So we took this problem as an opportunity to learn about coffee, learning from the experts and learning from videos and research. So that was one of the problem. But now I can say that we have learned a lot about coffee, and we still have learned a lot to learn about coffee. And then the other part, the other problem is the business knowledge. None of us here have run a business before. We've come from a background, just we are educated, but we don't have that business skills. I mean, in Shillong, we are educated, but we don't have any skills. So even for us here, but this company took such kind of people who have the passion to learn. So they train us, they equip us with skills, and they give us many learning platforms to learn about business. So that's where we equip ourselves with business skills, and then we went through many learnings, and that's also some of the problem at first. But now I can also say, with the help of Chillbreeze, with the help of our mentors, with the help of CEO, the directors, giving us the opportunity, we have the business knowledge to run this business. And also, apart from that, it's also the logistic issue as well, from the farmers to us, taking it from the village, they deliver it to us, because we are not just only sourcing it from Meghalaya, we are also sourcing from the other states. So that's also one of the problem. But through continuous effort and learnings every now and then, farmers are also learning with us together, growing with us together. So now it has become much more easier. And also the logistic issue to the customers. Now we're finding a vendor or a partner who we can rely to ship our product from the Northeast, the coffee from the Northeast, to the customers all over India.
I like that you mentioned, despite the odds, we have passion, which is obviously half of your battle is won. Now, coming to my next question, it's a novel idea, let's agree to it. It's comparatively new. I'm really curious of what the response is so far from people who've actually, bought coffee from you and tasted it. What's their response? What's the feedback like so far?
Okay, so there are two responses. Actually, one response is from the farmer, and one response is from the customer. So when we saw coffee as a potential, all of us were committed to make this work, not only for us, not only for this company, but for the farmers as well. So the first thing first, I'll share about the farmers, the response from the farmers. Before that, before selling it to us, there was no market. They were just selling it here and there, here and there. They were selling to some buyers who paid them after 6 months, after a year. So they don't really know whether coffee is valuable or not, because when they get money after 6 months and all those things. So that's where we jump in, that's where we saw the gap, and that's where we saw the opportunity as well. So when we started buying, we paid there and there itself, and we also paid at a fair price. The farmers are happy. Now more and more farmers wants to grow coffee. More and more farmers are coming to our office to meet us, to wants to sell the coffee to us, and they feel the sense of hope that 7,000 steps is coming to the picture to buy the coffee from them. So I'm really happy to share that.
And that's a positive response.
Yeah, a very positive response from the farmers, because we're giving it at a fair price and also paying it there and there itself. And also apart from that, we don't want that relationship just to be like the buyer-seller relationship. We want to be much more than that. We want to educate them in order to provide much more better quality of coffee. We want them to understand business. We are educating them every now and then. And another response was from the customers. When we call the customers, I still remember when I pick up my phone and call a customer from Delhi. I said, "Hi, my name is Kra. I'm calling you from 7,000 Steps Coffee from Meghalaya, from Northeast." He was shocked. He was surprised. He said, "Are you sure? Are you telling me the truth that there's coffee in the Northeast?" I said, "Yes, obviously. This region has been untouched now for many years. This region has been unexplored for many years. But that's the beauty of it." So when I shared about coffee, sourcing it from the farmers and telling the story behind the brand 7,000 Steps, he felt more connected to the brand. So we sent the samples, and then he tasted all the samples. He liked the flavor, he liked the aroma, and it worked well in the cafe. So that's when we first started, and also the cafes in Shillong. So we're getting a good response from the customers when it comes to the aroma, when it comes to the taste, and we just don't want to offer our customers just only good quality coffee, but we also want to offer good quality service from our end as well.
Well, fair enough. Let's talk a little bit about the fact that it's understood that people really don't know that there's coffee emerging out of the Northeast, and you seem to have solved and cracked that mystery. I did a little bit of research, like I said earlier. Why do you think that people outside the villages don't know about it, that there's coffee, not just coffee, but good coffee coming out of those villages? Why do you think it's taking so much of time for people to be aware of all of that?
Okay, so regarding this, I mean, I just want to touch base a little bit on the schemes and on different things, like being promoted by the government. Saplings and then seeds are being provided to the farmers and to grow and all those things, but it just ended up there. No one is taking the initiative, or no one is following up or pushing for the market. So that's why people don't know about coffee. That's why people don't know about coffee being grown in Meghalaya. So, and the other part also, like, there's no marketing, or there's no market, there's no buyer to buy it from Meghalaya because they don't know about it. But even for us also, we always used to discuss as a team, what would have happened if we did not went for those epic trips?
True.
If we did not went for those epic trips, we could have not found coffee, or we will not be here today also.
Right.
So I'm really grateful to God for the wisdom, for the guidance, and for everything. The reason we are here where we are right now is because of Him. So that's the main reason, because people don't know about coffee, because the farmers feel they are isolated, there's no one helping us. They just cut down the coffee plants just to share. There was one farmer who shared a story. They wanted to try the coffee themselves. So they used to fry the coffee in a pan, like at home, in a rural village where there's no electricity and all those things. And then after that, they grind it in the, kung omongi hatu maju tiliat tung tap, loki kisdi yung coffee hatai ikiu. Hata depay, hata depay nang tay kinsa teliat nang tay kinsa di. Tilong kasukot no tahang tay kiling kipisa bobom don kayo sanungin pelet yung new coffee. Tumari nang tangi lungin say we are bridging this gap between the customers and then the farmers. So we are bridging this gap, and we come not as middlemen, but working together with the farmers. We are partners with farmers. We don't call farmers as farmers, we call them as our partners. So that's the main reason I feel that the people outside the village don't know about coffee in this area. So I feel we are providing that opportunity, we are providing that platform for the farmers and for the coffee in the Northeast as a whole.
Now, speaking of villages, do you source your coffee, let's say, from the entire Northeast region, or it's only from a few selected pockets?
Okay. So when we first started, we started only for coffee from Meghalaya. That's where we're sourcing from different districts, from West Khas Hills district, from Ribhoi district, from East Khas Hills district, from Jaintia Hills district. So that's where we found out about coffee from Meghalaya. Then, as I've shared before, it made us curious, like whether the coffee will be in the other states of the Northeast. So that's where we went out to Assam. With the help of the coffee boat, we went out to Assam to meet the farmers. The same problem we found there. The farmers are cutting down the coffee plants because of the market. So we saw that as an opportunity, bridging the gap between the customers and the farmers. And after that, we also went from Assam, we went to Mizoram. We went to Mizoram, and we went to Nagaland, we went to Manipur, and we have sourced from all these states. There are many other, there are some other states that we haven't explored yet, but that's also a part of our plan this year to explore the other states that we haven't went. Like Tripura also, we have went. Tripura also we have went. Arunachal also we have went. There are just 1-2 states that we haven't visited yet or explored yet. But I believe we have already heard, we've already got the news that there's also coffee there, because we want to brand this coffee as the Northeast coffee, bridging the gap between the Northeast region and then the mainland areas.
India's most remote coffee.
India's most remote coffee. The reason behind that is because it's really, really remote. If you visit those villages, you'll really see, but you can see in them the passion to make this work. When we meet, there was a farmer event here. We organized a farmer event. We also invited
partners.
Yes, that's the reason why we call them partners. And then we also invited the partners from Mizoram as well. We discuss about it. I can see it in their eyes, the passion to make this work, not only for them, but for the company, for the state as a whole as well. Because with business, it can improve the society, it can improve the way we think. So that's the main reason why we're calling them partners and working together.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your top sellers. The first one, Blue Sunrise, and the other is Northeast Winter. Why are they your top contenders?
Okay, so when it comes to coffee, it all goes down to the preference on taste.
Okay.
Preference on taste. Some might like dark coffee, some might like medium coffee, some might like light roast, some might like 100% Arabica, some might like 100% Robusta, which many people consider as a bad coffee, but there are customers who like a lot, who likes Robusta coffee a lot. Like just an example, with chocolate, there are customers who like who doesn't like dark chocolate because it's bitter, but there's customers who like dark chocolate because it's bitter.
True.
So the same thing with coffee as well, like it all goes down to the preference on taste. Whereas for the Blue Sunrise, the main thing that the customers like is because of the flavor and the aroma. In coffee we have Robusta and Arabica, two varieties, Arabica and Robusta. So the main thing they like about it is because of the flavor, because of the aroma. And the other blend is the 80-20, the 80% Arabica and the 20% Robusta that we blend together.
Okay.
So that's where, you know, like the milk-based coffee, where you use milk, they'll be able to do much more art because Robusta is added, and Robusta provides that crema that will give them that, you know, that space like to do the art and everything. So these are the two main products, but I'm not saying that Robusta is not doing good, but Robusta is also doing good for the other customers. As I've said, like, you know, like coffee taste, it all goes down to the preference, like in taste or the tasting buds, it's always different from one person to another.
See, I want you to clarify one thing for us, because it's easy to make tea, but when it comes to coffee, you talk a little bit about your brewing equipments, etc., etc. How does one make a good coffee without stepping out of their comfort zone and going to a cafe? Do I need to specifically, go online, get a brewing machine, or how does it work? You tell us a little bit.
Okay, so actually a good coffee you'll get it from the manual brew. You know, we do it manually. We have the French press, we have the AeroPress, we have the V60, and we also have the espresso machine and all. So like we'll have to buy some equipments, but like they can be done at home. You know, they cannot be done at home easily. You can buy the French press, you can buy the AeroPress, which is easily available in the internet. And whereas for us, for coffee in Meghalaya, like many people doesn't know about coffee. They don't know the difference between Americano, espresso, latte and all. But that's an opportunity for us to educate the customers as well, to educate the customers and also different types of coffee, like because we still have a little bit of lack of knowledge when it comes to Arabica and Robusta, how does it works. And these are also kind of customers that we are targeting, the customers who knows about coffee and the customers who also focusing on coffee. So yeah.
So the venture is very highly dependent on the farmers, partners like you like to call them. So what do you do to ensure that they get their due recognition, and obviously ultimately empower them as well?
Okay, so the plan is there and we've already done it also. We really value our farmers. Without them, we will not be where we are right now. And then we really value them. We always we always communicate each other. We always used to ask them to come to the office to have a cup of tea, to have a cup of coffee, that we can discuss how we can work together. So the main thing that we really want to showcase them, like to the coffee buyers, is through the blog that we are writing down, that we are writing in our website, through blogs, and also through social media posts that we are promoting our farmers. We want the customers to know where does the coffee come from, because right now if you ask the customer, they will not know where does the coffee come from. You will not know whether it comes from Italy, whether it comes from Chikmagalur, whether it comes from any other areas. But we want our customers to know where does the coffee come from. That's the reason why we want to write the blog, where we want to write the blog about them and post about them, then post the story about them as well. And then also when it comes to empowering them, as I've shared before, we just don't want our relationship between the farmers and us just to be as buyers and sellers. We want to be much more than that. So we want to empower them to provide us much more better quality so that we can pay them more. We are providing some of the farmers some pulping machines so that they can provide us parchment so that they can sell us more and we can pay them more. So that's how we are empowering them. We are also educating them in order how to dry the coffee, and then how to harvest the coffee, and then how to pack the coffee before they send it to us. That's why we're doing this, because we want them to get more. We want them to pay more for the value they add or for the product that they are giving us. So we are really focusing on this part as well, to really empower the farmers, to also make the farmers known to the coffee lovers, to the coffee buyers from 7,000 Steps.
And there's one more interesting aspect of 7,000 Steps that I read, and that is the coffee trekkers. Is that your USP, if you'd like me to call that?
Okay, so with that, like, to be very honest, the plan is there, but we haven't...
oh, you've not started it?
We haven't started it yet,
okay.
But I'll just give a hint. It'll be related to the brand name only, 7,000 Steps. That's why we call Coffee Trekkers. But the plan has been there, but has not been fully rolled out. Once the plan is fully rolled out, we'll share that, and we want to keep it as a surprise as well. It will be. So
we'll keep it as coming soon.
Yeah, we'll keep it as a coming soon. We'll keep it as a surprise. So for the viewers as well, if you want to know about like what is coffee trackers and all those things, please follow us on Instagram. We are there in Instagram, 7000 Steps Coffee, and we will definitely share about this like in the coming months to come. We are still working on it right now, and we believe that the customers will really like about this coffee trackers, and it will also be a part of it. Like it will also be a part of how we will empower our farmers as well.
Right, for the benefit of our viewers, where can we find your coffee? Online, retail stores, where can we find them?
Right now, we are selling it online.
Okay.
You can buy it from 7000steps.com. We are selling it online, and you can also reach out to us through Instagram as well. We'll always respond to your inquiry through Instagram. But since the website is there, you can always reach out to the website, and all the products are there. You can buy it from our website. And if you want to connect with us to educate you about coffee, to educate you about the blend, to educate you about different kind of varieties, or what product you should buy, you can always reach us to Instagram. You can always DM us, and it would be a pleasure for us to educate our customers about coffee, and to also share to them which kind of coffee they should select.
Right. And my last question that I ask all my guests, because the whole purpose of the show is for people to get inspired. People should, be comfortable to step out of their comfort zones. What is your advice to other aspiring entrepreneurs watching this right now?
Running a business is not easy, being an entrepreneur is not easy, but like people will always see only the outside of it, the success, which is often glorified for the success that we achieve. But in order to get there, there are lots of problems, there are lots of hurdles, and the main thing is that the passion that we have to make this work. Why is the passion there? Is it only for yourself, or is it only for the farmers, or is it also for the society as well? Kau ka bang kuat banong ba banlong utaw banlong hakom kani kajat kam deka kam kapasok kumasit ong ilade ngadi ukhun sanrang mai kajing kali ka kabu ban phrang yanga ban start ban champang khanang bangla ban poi sa ka thong ka banga ka kwa hari kani kam dei tang ka jing kwa jong aru kan kadi kum kan hon hi borok kawe ban phrang ilade haduk mentamane ngam ong bangim baklaso haduk mentamane ngim ong bangim dunaso hari ngi shem gini jing bakla gi duna kum ta kalenti mangin poj ta ka sen jam mangin long kim nong job kali ka banga kwa ban ong ki nong pet ha kani ka por ba ngin shim ya ka jing jung kum ka kabu ban pen bet yangi mangin kiu sa ka thong. As long as we have the passion to learn, as long as we have the passion to correct our mistakes, and as long as we have the passion to make something work, as long as we have the the purpose of the business, why are we running this business, that will work out. And yaisha ka jing because tough times will not last forever, but tough people like you will do. So that's my message to all the young people, to the aspiring entrepreneurs as well. So
those are wise words and very well put. Krao, once again, thank you so much for your time. I thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fun fact, 7000 Steps Coffee partner with select cafes to create that unique and memorable coffee experience. Well, they're empowering farmers and they're opening up markets, and they're India's most remote coffee. I'm Aaron Lingdo. You're watching Shillong Buzz. I shall see you next episode. Until then, goodbye.